So I don't actually know who it is, but this is just like 100% almost perfect, like coincidental. And I just wanted to talk about it. So the Bakunawa killer was just revealed at Evo. It's currently early in the morning. It's 9 in the morning, and I was up at like 3 to watch it, and I missed the reveal. So the Bakunawa killer, we've been speculating who it was, and in my other video I said it was Go, because obviously Go's my favorite character, so I'm biased, but also because of his hair, the assassination plot. It just kind of seemed like Go, and we had very little information. And the white, very pale skin, sort of slanted, slender eyes, but that wasn't really anything. But now, you can probably see from the tabs, I know who it is. 100%, I'm guaranteeing. I will bet everything that this is the character. Maybe it's a similar version of the character. Maybe it's the character and he was like adapted in a different way. Maybe it really is him from his original source material. I don't know exactly, but I know it's his character, for sure. And if we just go through the trailer, which we'll do later, there's a scene where Pi is like, who is this guy? They're like, who is this guy? And then she's like, well, it can't be you. So this is the first big thing we have. He has a deep connection to Pi, enough that it warrants that reaction. Second piece of information we immediately got was he uses Lao Chan's fighting style, which is, I believe, the Kowakan? It's the Tiger Claw. And that's all we have to work on, right? And another thing is his appearance. He has very purplish, bluish hair. He has very, very pale white skin. He looks as old as Pi does, almost. He has very, very, like, slanted, slender eyes. Obviously he's very pale, and he's called the Bakunawa killer. That's all we have. And obviously his gear. And so with all that, my theory is that it is this guy, Liu Kowloon, from the anime. Now, there's a few reasons why I think... There's actually a lot. Okay, so the first thing, this character, you can probably read by the story here, he has a connection to Lao Chan and Pai Chan. That's the first immediate thing, right? So, you can see here, right, he was saved by Lao Chan when he was a kid in the streets. And then he became a disciple, and then he became the leader of a gang, right? He became the leader of Koen Khan, and they turned it into a criminal organization, okay? It's the basic gist. And then he wants to kill Lao, and then marry Pai to become, super strong, basically. Power-hungry, controlling, strong martial artist. He doesn't tolerate failure and betrayal, has a reluctant alliance with another character called Ava, who I won't delve into. And then he's killed by Dural when trying to save his master, and he was fatally shot by Ava, right? That's what we have right now. And now, there are a few things we can go off here just immediately, right? The first thing is his fighting style. So, okay, the first thing beyond his relation to Lao Chan and Pai Chan, his fighting style is the Koen Ken, which is the Tiger Swallow Fist. And if we click on practitioners, which I'm just going to show you because I already know the answers to all of these, but the main practitioner is Lao. And the only two practitioners are Lao Chan and Liu. So unless people are speculating it's Lei Fei, who, like, there's a whole, like, Shaolin saga of, like, oh, he wants to kill Lao and take his techniques or some shit like that. I don't think they're going to stick with that. I don't think they're going to stick with that lore. Because they probably want to move on from it. They probably want to make new things. They're doing a lot of new stuff with these characters. And so, one big thing about this is that the choice of introducing this character makes a lot of sense, not just beyond this, all of this, right, from the anime, but also because you can adapt him very well. You can do a lot of unique stuff with him as, like, it's his first inclusion in a game. And also, if we look at how he looks, just from this image alone, he looks very similar to, this is probably not a good image to show off, but if I just look up the Bakunawa, that was terrible spelling, killer, the Baklava killer, yes. Okay, cool, thanks. Okay, ignoring the Baklava killer. If we look at the Bakunawa killer, I probably should have pulled this up earlier, but I didn't expect to look at it. If we look at him, very, like, slender eyes, very, very pale skin, and sort of bluish, purplish hair. And then we look at this guy. He's got very slanted eyes. He's very, very white, very, very pale. And he's got, purple, very slanted eyes and purplish, bluish hair. So that's another thing that's like, yeah, this is definitely a thing. He also has, like, obviously the criminal organization, which would lead up to, like, people working for him, and, like, you just pissed off the Chinese mafia, Cielo, all that stuff. And so, if there's more to this as well. So not only does he train, but also, like, beyond the relationship, how he looks, the type of martial art he uses. If we actually look at his name in Japanese, this is like a side thing, but if we look at his name in Japanese, it will show me, I think it's this one. His name in Japanese is Kowloon, but his name in Chinese is Julong, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Long in Chinese, in Mandarin or Cantonese. I don't know if this is Mandarin or Cantonese, but I know for sure. I think it's Cantonese, but I know. Well, okay, this is a bit stupid because, like, the Chinese is the same writing, but anyway, in Chinese it would be dragon. Long means dragon, so that's already one thing. And also, you can see here, this is a bit of a mistake. I think it means invincible. Invincible 9 dragons. And you may be saying, well, why does that matter? Because of his name. His name is the Bakunawa killer. And in like, I don't know if it's mythology, I don't know exactly what it is, but in Filipino, like, mythos, I guess, there's the Bakunawa is a dragon, or like a dragon-like serpent, which would make a lot of sense. Because I was looking into details, like, why would it be related to a dragon? Why is he the Bakunawa killer? You know, because there's a reason why. And I was thinking, well, maybe it's because, you know, in Koenkan, like Tiger Swallow Fist, there's like a dragon form, I'm pretty sure. Maybe something like that, maybe something. But then I did more research, and I'm like, no, but his name, and I found this, I'm like, his name makes a lot of sense. You know, he has dragon in his name. Like, it's like such a small thing, but, like, maybe, you know, it just makes a lot of sense to me, at least. So, sorry, those loud trucks, I had to pause the recording. Baklava killer again. So if we go to this, right? If we go to this scene, you can see that's Lao Chan, and he's doing the same thing, obviously because it's the same martial art, but, like, interesting. And that's the guy. Interesting. Maybe they're connected. Who knows? And so, like, without just meandering a bunch, because I feel like that's what I'm doing, he has a connection to these characters, and he uses the same martial art that we see in this. Like, this is Koenkan. Like, people know that just from the way he's fighting, the moves he uses. It's very similar to what Lao was using, and that's why people speculate, oh, it's Lao came back from the dead, or it's Lei Fei, who took over Lao's stuff and he grew hair and all that stuff. It just feels like you have to, like, go out of your way to be like, oh, it was cloned and he came back from the dead, or it was this character and he just, you know, he did this and XYZ, blah blah blah. It feels like such a thing that's a clinging to the past, I guess, or like just such a. It's weird to me. It's interesting that it wouldn't just be so obvious, and also, like, it's so obvious from the way he looks, from all this stuff. And the more I did research, the more I'm like, this is the guy from the anime. And I'm not gonna act like I've seen the anime, right? I want to. I haven't come around to it yet. But this guy in season 1 of the anime, that's the guy. And there's even more to it. At the end of the trailer here, if I just turn this up, it might be not loud enough because of the music. If I turn up here, amazing music. That's very, very clearly Cantonese, just from the way you hear it, right? If you watch like a Jackie Chan Hong Kong movie, or like, sorry, any Hong Kong cinema in general, if you ever played like a game that has Cantonese in it, like Sifu with the Cantonese option, all these things that we know and love, it's very obviously Cantonese. And someone translated it because they speak Cantonese, and they said, "Hey, help me beat him up." So that's what confirmed that it was in Cantonese. And they said, you know, Pai Chan, blah blah blah. But this is what matters the most: that he's speaking Cantonese. And I don't know if I said it. I might have said it already, but he's from Hong Kong. And the one thing that begs the question is, like, why would... So, Lao Chan 100% is dead. Wait, confirmed. No, there's no way he comes back to life. If they want to do realism, they're not going to clone him. That's stupid, because I would hate that. So, who would speak Cantonese? People are speculating Lei Fei's from China. But in China, Mandarin is like infinite... He speaks Japanese, but it's infinitely more common than Cantonese. But in Hong Kong... And I might be wrong about this, but this is just from what I understand. Hong Kong, Cantonese is so common, which is why, you know, Hong Kong cinema and stuff like that, they all speak Cantonese. And someone thought about this as well, where he's from mainland China, so he should be speaking Mandarin. But it would make more sense. And so all of these things like just are so obvious. The way he looks, who he interacts with, who he talks to, like what he's trying to do, who he fights. You know, like there's Lao Chan right there. Look, there he is. It's Pai Chan's wedding. And so it's just all of these things that are like connected together that make too much sense. And what's crazy to me is that there are a few things I'm going to shut down why I don't think it's them. So Lei Fei, or I've already shut it down basically. It's most likely not him. Lao Chan, it's not going to be him because he's dead. Come on. Like, they're not going to do that. And one of the reasons is that, well, the first thing I will say is that I'm not even the first one who thought of this. I was doing this while I was doing some research. Someone thought of this before me. It's very rare that people are thinking about this because I haven't seen it outside of this one person. But when I was doing research right before I started recording, this guy suspects it's Liu Kowloon. Like, they think it's him. Because it's like, oh, but Lao's gotten younger. Like, no way it's Lao, right? Because he's younger. And then it's like, who can we connect it to? And it's that guy. And so, what's interesting is that one of the other people that were saying is that it's either going to be Lao, who come back from the dead, which is stupid, or got cloned, which is stupid. As you know, it's all about realism. And so, it might have been like Lei Fei, and he's, you know, but like, oh, you know, he grew hair and he got more pale skin, and it's, you know, he's speaking Cantonese now instead of either Japanese or Mandarin. It's all these things that are like so weird, you know, that you have to like add up. And so the other one was that people thought it was, I haven't played this game, Shenmue, but people thought it was Landy, who's the villain in Shenmue, which is like, you know, he looks kind of like this guy. And he has the same, apparently this is his like clan or whatever the fuck. So people thinking maybe it's Landy, which I think is stupid because why would there be a crossover? And if it is a crossover, maybe they can do that as DLC. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be him. I think it just, I don't know. Maybe he's like somehow related to Pai Chan, and then we have to do this whole thing of just making shit up. Whereas this guy has like actual, you know, he has like actual relations to these characters, like historical relations, even if it's canon or not, that they can just adapt. But what's interesting is that I looked into it, and that it's funny that that's mentioned because he's actually said to look similar to Guizhang, like exactly like him. I think Guizhang is, or Guizhang, I don't know, is he's like a clan member or something like that. Like he's, oh, that sounds a bit wrong to say because it sounds like something else, but you know, like he's he basically runs a clan or like a family business. I don't know exactly what he does, but like if we look at him, he looks very similar to the main guy. And so, I don't want to keep this too long, but like it's very clear that this guy that we see here is him. There's no way it's not, right? Like it's so obvious. And so, I might have been meandering and like yapping a bit, but yeah, it's 100% him, 1000% him. So, take with that what you will. I think it's gonna be super cool. I think it's a really cool replacement for Lao. I think he's gonna have really cool moves. I'm very excited for this game, and I hope Go comes back, please, because that means a deconfirmed Go as that character, which means I'm praying that if the Bakunawa kills not Go, I'm praying that Go comes back, please. I really want Go, but yeah, I'm definitely playing Bakunawa Kill when it comes out, and Cielo. It looks sick, but yeah, I'm excited for New Year's for this game. If you're interested, check out my music; it's great. I released a new song. And yeah, play Virtua Fighter and watch Virtua Fighter Top 8 at Evo. It was incredible. Shoutouts to, spoilers, certain player winning, who I'm very proud of, and I'm glad they won. Yeah, I'll see you guys later, and have a good one.